respected teachers, good afternoon to all of you. Today, I, Rajnandan Kumar, is going to conduct Inhouse Training, and today's topic would be embracing multilingualism. So, we will be, discussing about this multilingualism. Its English meaning is many, and lingua, that means language. Its meaning in English would be many languages. Like if you speak more than 2 languages, you are multilingual. And here, I suppose, those who are sitting here in this auditorium must be multilingual. Most of you know Marathi, you know Hindi, and you know English as well. And many of you might this as well. So, in this way, all of you are multilingual. So, anyway, we will be discussing it like what is the uses of it is beneficial for us. Educators like us can utilize multilingual in our classroom, even in our society, and in our personal life, day-to-day life. It's beneficial for many reasons. So let us start now. I request her to extend the slide. The topics of the presentation would be that means many and lot means language. A person who speaks more than 2 languages, not more than 1 language, more than 2 languages, they are called multilingual. And it is very much important for educators like us. If we have to survive in this way, we have to be multilingual. If we do not, then we won't go far in this way. Because you may be well versed in your subject, but if you do not know many languages, like at least 3 languages, which has been, stated in the NCF 2005 and New Education Policy 2019, where it is a facilitator or a teacher must be teaching in the classroom to the students in the mother tongue of the student, Hindi, and the second language, that is English. So you must be aware about all 3 languages. And especially in the new education policy, it is made mandatory that a facilitator or a teacher, educator are teaching the students in their mother tongue. Like here we have Mali, we have also Hindi as mother tongue of the student or learner. Most of them come from poor family backgrounds, so they do have Mali dialect with them. And it is said in this new education policy that a student's mother tongue must be appreciated by the teacher. If they do not know the first language or second language, then with the help of a student's mother tongue, only facilitator or teachers will be able to teach them. They should not be discouraged if they are using mother tongue in the classroom. But since we are teaching in our English medium school, where there is a pressure that we have to use English most of the time. So we have to survive anyway. Now it has come up. So the topic would be like famous quotes. Some of the quotes I have chosen, not it's more than 2 or 3, I think, 3 or 4. Introduction to the topic, multilingualism And for example, I have tried to explain what it would be like, how we can comprehend the meaning of multilingualism, needs of multilingualism in today's perspective, but especially for the educator like us, and advantages of multilingualism, challenges of multilingualism, what are the challenges that we face today, and how to deal with multilingualism, using multilingualism as resource in the classroom, role of a teacher, and conclusion. Yes, sir. Please, next slide. Okay, so to begin with, there is a very famous, statement by Samuel Johnson. Dr. Johnson, he was a 18th century dramatist, poet, essayist. He was a scholar, and he said, "The language is the dress of our thought. As we dress up ourselves to look good. Similarly, if we have some kind of thought running in our mind, it can be decorated or it can be beautified only with the help of language. If you don't have capacity to speak language properly, use proper accent, then your thought may not leave an impression on the listener or the audience. Like, we think it is very essential to dress up in a good attire, but similarly, using a very elegant language or at least proper language is required to express our thought. And the other is quotation or a statement said by Nelson Mandela. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. Suppose if somebody understands, like if I give example, whenever I go home, I talk to my mother, it goes straight to his heart, not to his mind. So like it happens sometimes when the teacher interact with the students in their language, like Mali, the students enjoy it, and really they enjoy it. So sometimes it is necessary. Next is there, learn a new language and get a new soul. Yes, really it is. Because language, each and every language has got a soul. Suppose, one of the example good afternoon, ma'am. If you say one thing in Hindi and same thing is translated into English, that very statement would be changed. That is what we call it, the soul of the language. So, one language, two languages, three languages, then you possess three souls. That means you can touch the people. Like suppose we are from Bihar and we speak Hindi, Marathi, and suppose we know how to speak Marathi or some other languages, and we get a chance to visit Maharashtra and we interact with the people there in Marathi, they would be very happy. Really, they are very happy. I have been there for 6 years and working with them, Maharashtra, and they feel proud when we, being a Bihari and speaking Marathi, they feel proud that the language is being appreciated and spoken by other state people as well. So that means you get a soul if you speak a language. If you speak two languages, you get two souls. Three, then you get three. It's a Czech proverb. Knowledge of language is the doorway to wisdom. Obviously, without language we can't, we can have. It is not true that if a person does not, knows many languages, then he would not be having knowledge. It's not quite true, but I believe that if you speak more than one or two languages, obviously, comparatively, you will have more knowledge. especially in the field of language and communication, than that very person who is a monologue. Okay, yes, sir, please, next slide. So introduction part is that what is multilingualism? As I have explained it earlier, that multilingualism is nothing but a person who speaks more than two languages, at least not two languages, more than two languages. If a person speaks two languages, then he is what do you call it? Bilingual. And if a person speaks three languages, he would be called trilingual. Similarly, here the person who is using or who use and who has good knowledge of all three skills in languages, all four skills of the language. And I would like to ask, what are the four skills of language? If any one of you can, yes, ma'am. Yes. SLR means speaking, reading, writing, and speaking. So there are four skills: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Sorry, listening, reading, writing, and speaking and writing. SLR. If you have efficiency in all these four skills of the language, and you know more than two languages, then you would be a multilingual. So, the language across curriculum, this you must have studied, or we must have studied it, or we have studied actually. There was a book, a book described in B.Ed exam across curriculum, in which we learned about the language across curriculum is a modern approach that language learning should be occurred throughout the school hours in language classroom as well as other subject classrooms. So language learning is not done only in the language class. Like if I take English classes, only it is mandatory that only language teacher will be teaching the students language, like English first language or second language. But it is also the responsibility of other subject teachers who go in the classroom and interact with the students. They also play a part in making the students learn the language. And not only that, there are so many things. The student learn language everywhere. If they are in the classroom, if they are in the playground, if they are in the society, if they are at home, everywhere they learn by imitating, by looking at people. The goals of LSC are simply speaking. What are the goals? The government or the curriculum, those who people work on to improve the curriculum, they have said that school is not simply to speaking, but also to support the language development in each and every child in all formats of language use. In each learning activity in the school, they simply implies to reflect about the strong language mediated evaluation criteria for success in academic learning, in purchasing test and in getting good marks. So that means language cross curriculum, the purpose, the aim of that is not only just to make the student fetch good marks in the examination, but their overall development. If a student is getting good marks, write and speak fluently. So the overall goal is not just developing cognitive academic language proficiency, but conceptual literacy. Conceptual literacy means unless student's concept is clear about the language, he would not be able to use the language with proficiency. So conceptual, as we all know, that CBSE particularly stresses on conceptual learning. It may be of any subject. Generally, the question is asked conceptual in the board exam, not from the text. So, conceptual literacy, that means the student must have all four skills of language. Apart from that, he should not be he or she should not be expert in that very language, but at least proficient enough to use it anywhere. LSN has been impressed by a number of academic institutions nationwide and is readily identifiable means to indicate a student's ability to engage in multilingual learning in preparation for the workplace. So, if a multilingual student pass out from a school, there would be ample of chances, opportunity waiting ahead for him, because if you are very much or well versed, have good knowledge in a subject like mathematics, but you do not have proficiency or you do not possess good communication skill, your opportunity will be limited in, especially in the field of job. Growth will also not be as per the person who is very much efficient in the language. I have seen that people in metropolitan cities, if they are too much efficient in many languages, they are highly demanded by the private sector employers, especially like call center, BPOs, and other areas. Okay, now I would like to ask next slide, sir. Okay, this is multilingual. Just you go next. Multilingualism here, like bonjour, hello, hella. These are the these are the greeting words of different languages like French, Spanish, Hindi, English. So it's all, this picture symbolizes that if a person is a multilingual, he is, he is said to have very good memory power, as well as he will remain fit and fine if he is a multilingual. It is said, or it is proven, or there is some kind of study research by the neurologist, that the person who are multilingual, the neuron which is responsible for this remembering and memorizing things, keeps on increasing, and it does not decay very soon in multilingual people. Generally, what happens, the number of neurons in our brain, which is responsible for especially the linguistic skill, to develop the linguistic skill, they will not die, especially in the multilingual people. Yes, sir, please, next slide. So, multilingual is a powerful linguistic phenomenon which evolves from the need to communicate across speech communities. Multilingualism is the ability to speak in more than one language, either by an individual speaker or by a community speaker. So, would be called multilingual. A multilingual person is one who can communicate in more than one language. I think I have explained it, more than two languages. It's not correct. A person who speaks more than two languages, they are called multilingual, not more than one language. And that he should be able to speak truly, write truly, powerful skills should be there. A multilingual person also knows as a polyglot. Poly means many and glot means language. So, uh, multilingual people, there are a number of benefits to be a multilingual. They are appreciated in the society, job opportunities comes from them in ample, and there are so many other things. Yes, sir, please listen. For example, if here where we are teaching now, there are also, not in many number, but I think there may be some multilingual students, like here it is explained, especially in metropolitan cities, where the students go to a school of a different community, of a different religion. Some of them speak Urdu, some of them have their mother tongue as Malayali, some of them as Tulu, some of them as Marathi, Gujarati. And like cities like Bombay, if you go there, people from Bihar also live there. So they also send their children to the school. They know Marathi and Hindi. People from Gujarat also live in Mumbai. They also send their children to the school, the same school where Bihari student is going. So the school becomes very divergent language, and there are a number of students in the class who are multilingual. And this way, we educators need to be multilingual and understand and respect everyone's language. So here, a student belongs to Bengali family but living in Delhi. In a school, his first language is English, second language is Hindi. In family, he talks in Bengali. So he uses three languages. Being a small kid, he is using three languages. And so we can say that this student is a multilingual. And we teacher have to deal with them. He knows Bengali, that's mother tongue. He knows first language Hindi, that is okay. And he knows a little bit of the second language, L2, that is English. So, be educator. If his L2, that means the second language is not, is good enough, then we try to teach him second language with the help of his mother tongue. Because to teach a language, we need the support of the other language. Here in our school, if the teacher or students, they are speaking Marathi, then that Marathi can be a kind of resource in teaching them English. That is the target language for us. So, we see that the students are multilingual in which way they are. Next slide, sir. Now, as I have talked about that NCF 2005, it was stated there that the CPSC especially, its curriculum is multilingual, mother tongue, first language Hindi, and the second language L2 is English. And the student must be taught in all three languages. And it should be respected. The student's mother tongue should also be respected. So, since we know India is a diverse country, it's a very vibrant country where different religious people dwell there, and more than 1,000, I think more than 1,000 languages is spoken here. Still, I think more than 300 or 400 languages is spoken across our country. So see how much divergent we are in linguistics. And if suppose we have to go to Assam and we don't know the language of there, the Assamese, then how we would be interacting with them? Many times it has happened. Once I went to South Indian state, there I found that people, they have discrimination of the basis of the linguist language. Suppose if you speak there, not I don't say that it is a very general phenomena over there, but if you go there and ask them address in Hindi, I have asked it, but that fellow who did not respond, he thought or he replied me the address to that hotel in some, then what do you call, Tamil language, which I could not understand. Then I spoke with him in English, and he very politely replied the address in a proper manner. So see, somehow there is a kind of discrimination that he speaks Hindi, so why should I leave my language, my mother tongue? So he has spoken his mother tongue. And this way, if we are multilingual, then this problem would not be faced by us. So here, a personal growth. What would be if a person is multilingual? Is personal growth. Personal growth today is it's a age of computer, and people are becoming the entire world has become like a small village where you can go and come, go in the morning and come in the evening to your country or your house. So if you need a personal growth, you have to be multilingual. I tell my personally, I have worked in BPOs, call centers, in other subjects, especially in science and maths, but I did well. And why did I get the job? Because of the language. So language is appreciated. If you are growing, if you need personal growth, you must be efficient in more than one or two languages. The many languages you will learn, the more personal growth you will get in your life. So first, personal growth. Second is tolerance and respect towards the other cultures. Yes, really. Suppose intolerance comes when we do not understand others' culture, languages. Then intolerance comes to our mind. We do feel some kind of apprehensive in speaking or in adopting somebody else's culture. So if you know Urdu, there is nothing wrong in speaking or listening or writing in Urdu or Telugu or Tulu or Marathi. There is nothing wrong in it. So if people across India start speaking once another language, then there will be not problem of intolerance, because they will understand each other's culture. So it reduces the chances of tolerance, intolerance if you are a multilingual person. Next is job opportunity. Yes, obviously. If we all are sitting here because of this multilingual, if we not be able to read, write or speak in English, I think principal ma'am would not allow us to teach here. So it gives a lot of opportunity if you are a multilingual. And next is abroad study. And if you speak mother tongue very frequently, do that at home. You know English, but you don't know English. You know 2 or 3 languages. You know Hindi, Mathli, Bhojpuri, some other dialects of our country, but you don't know English. Will you be able to go abroad? Yes, you will be able to go abroad. But will you ask there, suppose you have gone to study there for medical study, will you ask the teacher or the instructor over there, that sir, please tell me, explain everything in Hindi? You can't. So for that you have to learn language, that is English. Broader Next, increases vocabulary and effectiveness of our speech. If you become multilingual, the more languages you occupy, embarrass, accept, the richer your vocabulary will be. And this way, you will be able to convey the people very easily because they all know that it is only the tongue which can give appreciation and which can make us proud. If we do not have very good over our tongue, then obviously we are of no use. So these all are required. These all are, if you are multilingual, you would be able to get all these opportunities. Advantages of multilingualism. Being a multilingual person, you will have advantages most of the time. Hardly you will be facing difficulties, but yes, sometimes it happens. But first we will talk about the advantages that we have after becoming a multilingual person. Like the personal and social benefit, we all know. Personal benefit or social benefit क्या होता है? It helps to get recognition and status in the eyes of society. Also in a multilingual country like India, characterized by tantalizing cultural diversity, multilingualism helps to access the social network of different explained that if you visit some in that state, you will not be familiarized with the people over there. They will not be discussing their personal affairs with you and why they should. When you don't know their language. So if you are speaking their language, they will be discussing with you all personal details and affairs of their state, society, their tradition, and so many other things. So it's your personal growth, or it is a personal benefit as well as in society you will have a special status. Like if I go in my village, though I have never spoken English in my village because they hardly know. But if I go village, even Hindi is considered to be very of a standard. But if you go to village and you, or especially here, we say that there are so many, myth. I would say it is a myth that if you know English, you have a good personality. It is nothing to do with the personality. But yes, it's a myth, and people have such perception in their mind that if you speak English, you must be a good, educated person and highly qualified. That is not necessary. It's only myth, as I believe. But to some extent, it gives you chance, opportunity, or kind of age in the society if you are multilingual. Cognitive and academic benefits. Yes, cognitive. Obviously, as I said that if you are multilingual, your cognitive development will be faster than the person who has monologue. Person who is speaking single language, comparatively, the multilingual person will have good cognitive power. As I said, it has something related with our neuron, the left part, left brain, our left lobe of our brain, which is responsible for linguistic things like speaking, listening, and all other artistic things. So cognitive and academic benefits are there. Academic benefits, how it could be, like it helps to understand the reading process through multilingual perception in better way. Multilingual proficiency increases one's prospect of a higher education. Also, multilingual person have enhanced executive function and better at some aspects of language learning compared to monologues. Here, academic, if you are multilingual, your academic skill would be far better than the monologue people, because they most of the time they will spend time in comprehending the meaning of a particular first word, whereas you will be doing something else. So in this way you will go far ahead of him or her. So it gives a cognitive strength and power as well as it benefits academically. Third one is economic benefits. Yes, of course, if you are multilingual, job opportunities are there for you in Ampan. Go anywhere or any part of the world, there is a job for you. You know French? When I was working in call center, with me, there was a different segment, like there was a different process. One was UK process, the other was USA process, there was German process. So the person or colleague who knew German, he got paid more than what I was paid. So he got much opportunity. Why? Because he was a multilingual. He is more than I spoke at that time, even now. So you get economic benefits this way. Yes, next. Now challenges of multilingualism. What would be challenges? Challenges comes in everywhere. There is no way where challenges or obstacles are not there. We have to sideline it, we have to conquer or pass through it. So, what would be acceptance and struggle with monologue society? Obviously, it is. Sometimes you may feel that if we go in the society, like in party, and if we, like I and one of my friends, they started speaking in English there in the party, where the other they are speaking in Marathi and Hindi, they would, keep themselves apart from us. They won't come closer. Why? Because they have a kind of, perception in their mind that they are becoming over smart. See how they are speaking in English here in the party. It means they will think of us that we are showing ourselves. But it is not fact. So sometimes you have to, face the society, the people. If you go on the road here and there and start speaking in English, asking something in English, they won't reply, they will laugh and say, okay, go, those who speak English, go and talk with them. So they will give distance, they will separate you from there. So sometimes we have to face this with the monologue people. Reduce interactions, obviously, if they don't talk, if we go in the society and speak in English with them. Here, even in our class, we talk about, if I go in the class and start speaking, in English, most of the students, sometimes not. I think I have faced a number of times where the student, they do have perception that this teacher, is very good. They speak like this. They have the blood such sense over smartphone. That is what we have to face. But since we are a teacher, we have to convert their ideology or the perception that they have developed. Such prejudice is not an issue, should not be an issue for us, because we are there for that very purpose only. So the next is shift the focus. Obviously, if 10 of the people are speaking in Marathi and you go there, 2 of them and start speaking in English. So obviously 10 of them will shift from away. Or if you are speaking, suppose somebody was discussing on some particular point and you intervene them and you intervene speaking English, then they will change the topic. Okay, no, we were not talking about this. So focus gets shifted. Poor attitude towards the multilingual person. Yes, sometimes jealousy is one of our characteristics as we are human beings. As long as we are human beings, jealousy must be there. So if a person is a monologue, then we become jealous. But sometimes it is harmful. So poor attitude of the society society towards the multilingual people can be faced. Next is creates communication gap, obviously. Like if you are multilingual communicating in English and a person is there, he knows only Marathi, or suppose you go in Maharashtra and you speak in Hindi, then obviously there is a gap. I have seen and faced a number of times where the Maharashtrian they would not talk in Hindi, though they knew Hindi well. They can talk with there are students speaking 10 languages, different languages. So it would be very tough for the teacher to integrate all of the students because some of them speak Gujarati, some of them speak Marathi, some of them speak Konkani, some of them speak Tulu. How will you integrate them in the study? So sometimes it is a kind of problem. Next, how to deal with the multilingualism. So there are some reasons. If there is a problem, solution should be there. If not there, we must find it out. Accepting and respecting what one knows. Suppose if the person to whom I have asked that address in Hindi, they did not. I have seen, when we left, I think yesterday man has already explained it. We can use these all kinesthetic gesture and expressions to connect with people, provide opportunities to imitate and practice, recognize efforts and rewards them. If somebody is speaking in mother tongue, don't discourage. Okay, you can speak your mother tongue, you can also speak in Hindi and English. And this way we can encourage them, not discourage the students. Language is always to facilitate, not to frustrate. Language is always to facilitate, to help, not to frustrate the others. Let's say. Okay, now I'm going in short, very short. Okay. Disadvantages of multilingualism. Which is disadvantages and what is pronunciation? Obviously, it's a big problem and disadvantage because if we go to learn some Spanish language, we would not be pronunciate its word. Like if I say, just meet Rajnandan in French, the spelling remains quite same, but if you go to a speak or pronunciate a word, it would be quite different. Like this estilo. Piezonism, that means it happens occurs when you change or shift the language. There is a kind of confusion or problem created when we change from Hindi to English or from Hindi to Marathi. Sometimes meaningless होगा. Next slide, sir. Using multilingualism as a resource in the classroom. Multilingualism can be a resource, as I said, according to National Curriculum Framework NCF 2005, the multilingual characteristic of India. And as we know, language is taught, it is not taught. If you want to learn language, you need to taught. Students do the same thing. Different languages of different students will be used creatively in the classroom. Students will have exposure to different languages and their sound systems follow logical pattern. At the same time, students learn about rules of different languages that will help to sharpen their skills of observing, deducing and reasoning, and also enhancing their linguistic and cognitive faculty. Now, I'm just reading out, okay, the vocabulary of that very language, and then what will happen? a student will also want to know the English meaning about the word and also the meaning in Hindi. So this way we can create that mother tongue into a resource in our classroom. Next, role of a teacher. What would be the role? Teacher need to first in the liberal mindset. Yes, you are going in the classroom and you are frustrated yourself, you would not conduct the class properly because there are 40 or 45 students who are already frustrated before. So many teachers or man has come and gone out of their class, and so you have to be liberal. If they do mistake, we have to excuse them, and especially with their mother tongue. Teachers will encourage students to learn another language, obviously, but we also need to control them because here there is not multilingual. Hindi and English, it's a bilingual only. Teachers can recognize on students' own language. Teachers can arrange songs, dance, drama, recitation of different activities that can be arranged by the language teacher. And teacher's own language should also be recognized by the teacher. ऐसा नहीं that okay you are speaking Marathi, but this language you are using. The student will develop a different kind of perception about you. Same he will think for your language in which you are communicating with him or her. Next slide. Conclusion. We are at the last. Language is the most important medium of communication and education. Its development occupies an important place in the national policy of education and program of action. Without language, we are nothing. The problem with the student is that they know the language in their mind, but then they don't know. Either they have cognitive development has been done, but what they call the motor skill does not support as per the cognitive development. Like they know they can speak English, but if they go on writing for English, they will do grammatical error, sentence formation will be not proper, and the spelling mistakes will be there. Sometimes even students' mistakes are done because they don't know English and they are writing SST paper, and there they have mistaken because of the language. They have thought one thing in mind and writing on the paper is quite different. Why? Dissimilarities because they have not developed their language. So for language, their mathematics, hardly mathematics, but science and SST, the marks are deducted. The one and only way to introduce multilingual through a formula system of education is to make provision for the study of several languages in the school curriculum. So we know of positive relationship between multilingualism, cognitive growth, and educational achievement. There is every need to promote multilingual education in the schools. Curricular achievement is encouraged through such education. It helps students to achieve their self-esteem, confidence, their own ability, and potentiality and curricular success. Curricular success. Being a multilingual person has a huge scope in aspects of job. It also helps to understand the history and heritage of traditions and cultural and tradition. So, yes, I think that we just wait. Okay, that's fine. I did not to say thank you because I have written it. Okay, thank you very much. And this way, this embracing